Hi, I'm Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson, and welcome to our Annapolis. I'm very excited today to introduce you to my special guest who have a unique and new program that's being offered at the end of the month. So we have with us Reverend Bishop Dr. Craig Coates, founder of Fresh Start Church, and Mrs. Argo Duenas, who is a health and wellness expert here in the city. So tell us, first of all, welcome, and tell us a little bit about the program you're planning.
Well, before I talk about the program, I'd like to also talk about the Wellness Center here in Annapolis as it ties in, because this is the joint partnership that the Bishop and I are presenting at Fresh Start Church. My name is Argo Duenas, and I'm owner and manager of Back to Nature Health and Wellness Center. We have served the Annapolis, Baltimore, Virginia, Eastern Shore, DC, Delaware area for over 26 years, offering a variety of holistic services: ionic foot bath, hydrotherapy, nutritional counseling, and detox. And my commitment to this community has been over 26 years of serving the community. We have a health crisis, not only in Annapolis, but America, but globally. And in December of this year, Bishop Coates opened his church, opened his heart, opened the doors to Dr. Joel Wallach, who is a renowned, internationally known naturopathic doctor, biomedical researcher, veterinarian, and comparative pathologist. He has done a lot of work on nutritional deficiencies, and he's also lectures about 300 days a year, really trying to raise the health awareness and just globally. Our people are dying, Sheila, prematurely. We're concerned about our children. Our children are being targeted by the food industry, by the pharmaceutical community, and even by the AMA. So Dr. Wallach's mission and message is to save America, heal our communities, save our precious children, and empower us to take charge of our life and health. And we are committed. I'm so eternally grateful to Bishop Coates. Dr. Wallach showed up and the church was full. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah. And I'm so committed to this cause, to the mission, to the message, because my grandfather died of colon cancer. My brother, at age 56, died of pancreatic cancer. I have family members, friends, you know, and even in your family communities, that people are leaving the planet prematurely. And it's our mission, God bless Bishop Coates, once again, for opening up his heart and his church to bringing in some very well-known doctors in the Baltimore area. Dr. Willie Richardson, he's a holistic dentist, and Dr. Stephanie Reed. She is a naturopathic doctor out of Baltimore too. We're having this workshop, a presentation in February, and Bishop Coates would like to share a little bit more about the experience first with Dr. Wallach and some of the things that he said that just is life-changing.
Yeah, it's been incredible. First of all, thanks for having us on the show. I'm very excited about this opportunity because being a pastor, I believe that we are not just one phase in terms of a person. I believe that there are multifaceted ways that we need to approach holistic living. And I don't believe that people can be spiritually sound and successful if they're not physically well. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed for quite a few years that the congregations I've served, I've done 22 years of pastoring, and I have seen people who have suffered so much physically and has accepted it as a norm, but yet we preach a gospel that talks about miracles and healing and things of that sort. And so I just believe the gospel has to be more practical, and we have to look at what would Jesus do today? What would be a topic of his today? And I believe it would be a condition of people's bodies in terms of what we eat and how we think and exercise and things of that sort. So already being partnered with the Anne Arundel Health Department, we're serious about health and wellness. We partnered with several pastors in the community to form health ministries in our churches and to model those examples in different churches. And so when this opportunity came to meet Dr. Joel Wallach, having had a friendship with Argo for many years, and I can honestly say from the preventive process years ago that she has helped us to see colonics and just taking care of ourselves, I am definitely in a better place than most people I went to school with at the age of 50. I'll be 50 in a few months. But I believe that secret needs to be put out there. What is it that makes it possible for people to live a healthy, wealthy life? And I believe nutrition is a key piece of it. So meeting Dr. Wallach was amazing for me because I was hands-on. I'm there eating lunch with him, and I see this man is a walking example of what he believes. He doesn't sit down and order whatever and then go in and teach people something different. He really lives by his standards. And so I said, this would be awesome if we could have an event and call it a night of miracles and healing, because that is what it is. It's a miracle whenever you can see something in your life going in one direction and it turn around and go in a better direction. And like she said, the place was packed. He gave so much information for at least 3 hours. We just sat and listened to him as if it was the first hour because he had so much to share. And the whole time, I just was thinking to myself, you know, it takes this kind of meeting, this kind of setting, to undo what's been done, because we watch commercials all day long. We listen, we see patterns every day, all day, that reinforce bad habits. I give you the best example for me right now is commercials that we see a whole lot of them now about medication. They're supposed to fix one thing, but they have to give the disclaimer that it will damage 4 or 5 more things. You'll have a healthy smile, but your kidneys are going to fail, you know, and can lead to, in some cases, death. And I said, what is going on that we have so much faith in pharmacy and these practices that are trials, but we don't have enough faith in the very essentials that God gave us: food, nutrition, exercise. And so I believe it's a back to nature, just like your company name. It's a return back to what God has intended for us. And I think it's a perfect platform for pastors. When I met Dr. Wallach and we talked and I understood what he meant about the minerals and just so many things that we're gonna share again at the meeting on the 27th, I immediately had a revelation. I said, you know what? Jesus healed a man with those same nutrients. He reached down into the mud, spit on that dirt, made mud, and put a salve on this guy's eyes, and he saw. And I said, you know, Naaman told the guy, go to the Jordan River and wash 7 times. And he said in the dirty Jordan, but there was minerals there that he needed. And I believe that it needs to be the same relevance today. So we're excited.
So tell us a little bit about the format. We've heard about the previous program with Dr. Wallach, but now we have our own coming up on the 27th of February, health and wellness presentation. So how will the day look? Where is it being held? What can participants expect to walk away with?
Absolutely.
Well, the 2 featured guests and speakers will be Dr. Willie Richardson, who is a holistic dentist out of Baltimore. He has served his community for over 40 years. He lectures. He also offers free health and wellness presentations in Glen Burnie, and that's where Bishop met Dr. Richardson. And he has a unique dentistry in that he treats the body in relationship to the whole body. So he's very holistic. About 15 years ago, I had my own show, as you know. It was called Your Health is Your Wealth, and that's how I met Dr. Richardson. I invited him to Annapolis to be my guest, and he shared a wonderful testimony how he really healed a little boy of asthma by changing the occlusion in his mouth by making some type of appliance. Because you know, in our bodies we have energy pathways and meridians that goes to every organ in the body. Just like the auricular acupuncture, there are points on the ears, you have spinal nerves going to the different parts of your organs. Even in the colon, there are reflex points that's related to different organ systems. Reflexology, hands, feet, so with the mouth. So his approach is very holistic. I'm excited about that. And then we have Dr. Stephanie Reed, who has joined forces with us. She is a phenomenal teacher. We do these conference wellness calls during the week, And she's also now partnering to do workshops, free workshops at her healing center in Baltimore. She is a wealth of information, very holistic. She offers a variety of holistic services, homeopathy. I'm just so excited to be in the company of both of these great teachers, leaders, and mentors. So it'll be a 2-hour presentation. It'll start at 4:30. Registration's at 4:30. And then the start time is at 5. So generally it's a 2-hour presentation.
Well, we're very fortunate because Dr. Reed will be our next guest in the next segment of this program. So are other churches involved? You said you have health ministries in a number of other churches. Who is going to be invited to these presentations, and how will one learn about it?
Well, the entire community, of course, is invited, but we have partnered with several churches over the past few years, working together to establish health ministries. Bishop Larry Thomas at Empowering Believers Church in North County. Over in Hanover area, we have Bishop Abraham Shanklin. And also in the Odenton-Severn area, we have Bishop Antonio Palmer and Kingdom Celebration Center. In Annapolis, we have Reverend Johnny Calhoun and the Mount Olive Family Life Center. And we have Reverend Karen Johnson, Dr. Karen Johnson, and First Christian Community Church, and a few others that we've partnered with to try to bring education, information, empowerment to the primarily African American community. So that's been our focus.
So it's sorely needed, very clearly, and I'm glad when you were naming the churches, they were all kind of North and West County, so I'm glad you got to the city of Annapolis, because we have a great need here.
Absolutely.
And I hope that there will be an opportunity to reach out to those people who may not be connected to a church, but and may not have the resources to go elsewhere, but this is an opportunity for them.
Absolutely.
So is there pre-registration? What must one do, or should they just show up at your church? And I'll ask you to give the address.
Certainly.
So that we can figure out how to get people to the event.
Yes, the address for Fresh Start Church is 506 Lincoln Drive.
Again?
In Glen Burnie. Right, it's right off of Mountain Road and Solly Road area.
Okay, 506?
506
Lincoln Drive.
Yes, and that's in Glen Burnie, Maryland, in the heart of what is called Freetown, right? So many people know historically about Freetown. We're right there in the heart of Freetown. And you can just show up at 4:30. I would advise to get there early as possible because we were definitely overflowed the last event, and more people hearing about it. And as people are pursuing this new path, they're getting results. And so they're telling, people, news travels fast. So
Good news travels
yes,
fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so getting there early would be the key.
Is there a fee?
Oh,
or
there's no
some
fee.
Other? So it's free of charge.
Absolutely.
We've got 2 outstanding physicians who will be talking about health-related issues. Will they have an opportunity to ask questions and share concerns?
Absolutely. That's what makes it so wonderful. It's not the doctor selling us anything. It's people exchanging information, getting empowered, making sure they understand what it takes for them to get from where they are to where they need to be. And the personal one-on-one has been incredible. I think that's really important. Dr. Wallach, when he was here, at the end, he entertained a line of us, and many people wanted to get in line. The line was out the door. And each person, one at a time, shared what they were experiencing, and he talked to them one at a time. And then we stayed as long as it took, and it was very valuable.
Well, I think from what I'm hearing now, the community should be ready to embrace this immediately.
Absolutely.
Again, it's on February 27th at 4:30, but come early at 506 Lincoln Drive.
506.
Which is in Glen Burnie off of Mountain Road, I think I heard you say.
That's correct.
And we'll put up the address again on the screen a little later. But right now, I think we're going to break for a commercial, and then we'll come back with Dr. Reed.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm eternally grateful to you, Alderman.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.
Mason.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Welcome back to our Annapolis. And we're here this afternoon talking about the health and wellness presentation that's coming up later in the month on February 27th. And we have Mrs. Argo Duenas. Why can't I get that? I want to call you by your maiden name. You know that.
That's fine.
And we have joining us Dr. Stephanie Reed from Baltimore. So welcome, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you fit into this health and wellness presentation.
Well, I'm a naturopath, and I have a place in Baltimore where I help people understand the idea that your body can do what it needs to do if you take away what it doesn't need and give it what it does, and it'll just work on its own. It really will. But I think the key point is the naturopath is an educator. And so it's very important to give people the educational base to let them know what those things are that they need to take away, and conversely, what are those things they need to add.
So do you do one-on-one with clients?
I do.
Do you do large presentations? It sounds like you're doing a presentation here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm doing a presentation at Fresh Start Church, and I actually do one-on-one sessions, but I also do workshops and corporate events and church events. As a matter of fact, my husband is the pastor of a church in Baltimore City called Abundant Faith, Reverend Medgar Reed. And our church mission is to heal, to help, and to harvest. So a part of our church mission, as you heard the bishop talk about, is healing the community from a holistic perspective, because you need mind, body, spirit connections. You can't just be an ears, nose, and throat, right? And that's what we're used to. We're used to that compartmentalized idea that when you are unwell, it's only one part of your body, but actually it's your whole body systemically that has a problem. And so when we bring it back to a healing perspective, we like to think that natural medicine and natural protocols and good living and quality water and all those things come into play, that's what's going to be the real foundation for wellness and health. And that's what the invitation is, to come to the meeting on February 27th.
So what will the participants take away? Will they have a plan, a strategy, something to follow that helps them to go from doing bad things to their bodies to doing healthy things for their bodies?
Sure, absolutely. The biggest takeaway that I like to impart to anybody that I have a connection to is ownership. You have ownership. This is your temple. This is your body. And so once you understand what things are good for you and what things aren't, you can take ownership. And so when something doesn't sound quite right in terms of prescription drug, then you have a more assertive ear, and you're going to be able to take that knowledge and say, I know that drug says blah, 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 but is my situation really as bad that I'm willing to deal with the side effects of this? Maybe I'm going to take an executive order on my own self and say, no, I think not. Instead, I will do X. And the X will be other things that people can do in order to be well. And so one of the things, if I could, is just to share a few of the tips that I always give. I give nuggets and tips, right? And so here's a tip. Sodium is not bad for you.
Sodium being salt.
Salt. Oh my God, she just said a bad word on television. The reason being is sodium and potassium are the life-death ratios of every single cell. And when you take that out of the diet, you will have liver problems, kidney problems, allergies, gastrointestinal problems, heart problems. And so I like to ask people in the audience, the people that are watching, since you've taken salt out of your diet, how has your health been? Right? Dr. Wallach also explains that from a biochemical perspective of how nutrients are so important. And so I'm just going to be giving a lot of tips and nuggets about what people are doing that they've been told to do that may not be giving them the results that they are thinking they should get. And it's okay to make an executive decision to make some changes.
It sounds like you're empowering
Yes.
individuals to take control of their medical conditions,
Absolutely.
their health period across the board, to help them be aware of what other options are available to them.
Yes.
May I interject a minute?
Please.
Truly, that is Dr. Wallach's mission and message, to touch, move, and inspire and empower people to take charge of their life and their health. We're inspiring people to take their power back from the doctors.
Yes.
Take the power back from the pharmaceutical companies.
Right.
Take the power back from the AMA. Dr. Reed, can you explain Dr. Wallach's concept of the 90 for life?
90 for life is a phenomenal concept. As a naturopath, I actually do hair tissue analysis, and I'm able to see the actual mineral profile of a person's biochemistry. So you're eating every day, and you're assuming that you're getting the nutrients out of your food. But when I look at a hair tissue analysis lab report, I can actually see the truth of either, number one, you're not getting it, or you're not getting enough, or you're getting it and it's not being absorbed. The 90 for life concept from Dr. Wallach just simply states, if we get 90 essential nutrients in our bodies every single day, just like you breathe, your organ systems will work more efficiently, your body will be more metabolically apt to deal with the environmental stressors and the things that are happen to the, tap into you through the environment, and you won't be susceptible to these chronic diseases, and I separate the word disease, because that's what it really is, it's a disease. And so when you take 90 for life, or 90 nutrients every single day, these things are less likely to happen. And I always give my clients the scenario of a car, right? You have this beautiful car, it's all shined up and the tires are all good, but you never look at the engine, you never change the oil, you only give it, whatever gas you can afford, and this beautiful car starts to break down and you wonder why. Well, this is our beautiful vehicle. This is the vehicle that our soul lives in. And if we don't give our bodies what it needs, then the soul is not going to have a good house, right?
So are you talking about supplements?
Yes, the 90 for life supplements, it starts with what we call a healthy start pack. And a healthy start pack has all the 90 essential nutrients that you need, including vitamins, minerals, enzymes. It also offers some probiotics and essential fatty acids. And so when we look at how the body breaks down, we say, okay, if you need 90 essential nutrients every day, what if your body has already experienced a kidney challenge or diabetes or hypertension? Then that standard pack will add an additional, supplement that's going to address that particular additional problem.
May I ask one more question? May I?
Yes.
Okay. Another example of nutritional deficiency, just another example, we talk about pica and craving.
Pica and cribbing.
My mother, when she was pregnant with me, ate Argo starch, believe it or not. A lot of women down south eat red
starch.
clay. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I ate Argo starch. The other young ladies in the community ate Argo starch. So I would beg to say that we all had a nutritional deficiency.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say that? And what is that called, doctor?
Pica and cribbing.
Yes.
Pica and cribbing. I'll give you a good example of pica and cribbing. When we eat, we're supposed to be able to eat our food. It goes to the liver and all the other good organs to be metabolized and broken down, and it's supposed to give us energy. When we can't get the nutrients out of the food because we have inflammation or because the food didn't have any nutrients in it to begin with, then what happens is we get hungry again because our body is craving nutrients, not food. And so you know that you are malnourished when you eat a big meal and you feel tired afterwards. That's one big indication that that meal that you ate had no nutritive value, because food is supposed to break down into its metabolic form to give you energy, life-sustaining energy. And so when food doesn't give you that, it's not good, and that's a prime indication that you're mineral deficient.
Well, I think that we have had just enough to pique our interest and motivate us to want to learn more. So I want to thank you ladies for coming in and for sharing this exciting program. Again, it's February 27th at the
Fresh Start.
Fresh Start Church in Glen Burnie at 506 Lincoln Drive. Reverend Bishop Craig Coates is the pastor, founder and pastor, and it's the health and wellness presentation. So thank you, and please, 4:30 on the 27th, be there and learn how to worship the temple that we know as our bodies. Thank you.